Colonel Lauren A. Courchaine, Commander, 67th Cyberspace Operations Group, will relinquish command to Colonel John W. Picklesimer. This ceremony is a time-honored and cherished military tradition, which formally symbolizes the continuity of authority as command is passed from one individual to another. This formal ceremony is conducted before the assembled company of command and marks the transfer of command authority, responsibility, and accountability from one officer to another. And we are extremely honored to share this ceremony with you. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the arrival of our official party and remain standing for the presentation of the colors and the singing of our national anthem by Airman First Class Cassidy Zigelder. Thank you, Airman Zigelder. Now, Tech Sergeant Joshua Bush, Religious Affairs for the 67th Cyberspace Operations Group, will give our invocation.
Please pray with me. Heavenly Father, thank you for this joyous occasion to bring us all together today as we celebrate the past and look to the future of the 67th Cyberspace Operations Group. The Rough Riders have been blessed with Colonel Courchaine leading us through continuous obstacles within the cyber world. And today, I ask that you properly equip Colonel Picklesimer and his family so he can face these challenges that lay ahead of him with honor. Father, I thank you for the faithful service and fearless leadership of Colonel Courchaine as she has led the Rough Riders for the past 2 years. I also thank you for the work you have done through her as she displays and encourages a team-first mentality, which has been able to consistently develop energetic teams of cyber warriors, allows every voice to be heard, and has encouraged bright ideas and creative solutions in some of our country's most challenging times. Father, I recognize and thank you for her incredible support at home that you give her, with her husband Brian, as he also serves our country, their 2 sons, Cooper and Oliver, and Emma, their au pair, who has oftentimes been the glue of their family. As Colonel Courchaine and her family steps away from the Rough Riders, I ask that you continue to be with, guide, and lead them as they move on to their next venture in developing the newest members of the world's greatest Air Force. Father, I thank you for Colonel Picklesimer, his wife Michelle, their children Bridget and Gavin, and their loved ones with us here today. I thank you for the opportunity for us all to know and work with Colonel Picklesimer, and ask that you give him strength and courage and integrity as he now takes command of the world's finest cyber warriors. I ask that our time together today be filled with your love and blessings, and I ask that you continue to be with the 67th Cyberspace Operations Group as we move forward with defending and protecting our country's freedoms. Lord, I pray these things in your holy name. Amen.
Thank you, Tech Sergeant Bush. Please take your seats. Before we begin, we would like to recognize several distinguished guests. Please hold your applause until the introductions are complete. The spouse of the commander, 67th Cyberspace Wing, Mrs. Megan Phillips. Spouse of the outgoing group commander, Captain Brian Courchaine, United States Navy, and their sons Cooper Oliver and their au pair, Emma Wolf. Spouse of the incoming commander, Mrs. Michelle Picklesimer, and their children Henry, Bridget, and Gavin. Family of the incoming commander, Charles and Vera Picklesimer, and John Herta, his father-in-law. From our military community, joining us virtually, Director of Defense Information Systems Agency and Commander of the Joint Force Headquarters, Doden, Lieutenant General Robert Skinner, as well as the Director of Operations for U.S. Cyber Command, Major General Kevin Kennedy. Locally, we have the incoming 67th Cyber Wing Commander, Colonel Sean Kern, and his spouse, Mrs. Angela Kern. Commander 688th Cyberspace Wing, Colonel James Hewitt, and his spouse, Mrs. Linda Hewitt. Commander 655th Intelligence Surveillance and Reconnaissance Wing, Colonel Joseph Marcinek. Former 67th Cyberspace Wing Honorary Commander, Colonel Retired Chris Cook. And Command Chief 67th Cyberspace Wing, Chief Master Sergeant Andrew McKendry, and his spouse, Mrs. Hope McKendry. To the other senior leaders, members of the 67th Cyberspace Operations Group, each of the group's staffs, distinguished guests, and friends of the Courchaine family. The Courchaine and Picklesimer families, thank you for taking the time to share this special occasion with us today. Welcome, one and all. And now, the Commander, 67th Cyberspace Wing, Colonel Jeffrey A. Phillips.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome to a big day for the 67th Cyberspace Operations Group. I have to say it's wonderful to see so many familiar and smiling faces here in person, and it's great to be able to do this as a group together. I'd like to start out with some thank yous and some welcomes. So thank you to the project officers for today's event, Captain Ratista and his team. They're probably going to be the happiest ones in the room in a little less than 67 minutes. We know these events don't plan themselves, and this team has gotten us to this point, done a really good job doing so. Thanks for all the hard work. Captain Singles, thank you for narrating. Huge thanks to our gunslinger, protocol, and PA teams, Mr. Cornell Hoskins and Trevor Tiernan. They are true professionals and find a way to make events like this special for everyone involved, to include all those friends and family and airmen that are able to join us virtually today because of current technology. And how about that rendition of the national anthem? Another round of applause, please. Team 688, thanks for being here. Jimmy, Linda, Jake, and Chief Jeff. Appreciate you guys being part of the ceremony. Lieutenant General Skinner and Major General Kennedy, thank you for live streaming the event today, and thank you for your continued support of the 67th Cyber Wing and 67th Op Group mission. Welcome to our current gunslinger leadership team, Colonel Omar Velasco and Chief McKendry and Hope. Thanks for being here, and of course my lovely bride, Megan. As always, thanks for your support, and I'm glad you were able to make it at this early hour. I appreciate it. Welcome to the Courchaine family, Brian, Cooper, and Oliver. Big smile, Oliver. Your support is what enables Lauren to continue to serve even when you keep her extremely busy at home with basketball and baseball practices and games, all the TDYs that Brian goes on. Despite all that, you're a big reason that she has been successful in this job. And we'll talk more about that in a little bit. And thankfully, they have a fifth family member in Emma that helps keep the Team Courchaine on track. So Emma, thanks for being here today. And welcome back to Gunslinger Country to the Picklesimer family and the Rough Rider team. Michelle, JP's wife, and their family, Henry, Bridget, and Gavin, they all made the short notice trek across the country from Fort Meade to be here for this big day. And Henry, I heard you were in charge of the cat all the way from Fort Meade to here. So hopefully you did your job well and the cat survived the move. I've already seen all three of you in the neighborhood making friends, and so I'm sure you're going to enjoy the next couple of years in Texas. Also, welcome to JP's parents, Charles and Vera. Thank you for being here today. And to Michelle's dad, John. Appreciate you all being able to be here in person. And then any friends and family that are watching the live stream. A lot of times we have events like this, and they are far off places from where our families are, so it's great that we can bring people in person and virtually. These ceremonies are really big moments in time for everyone involved. For the airmen of the 67th COG, we get to talk about all the accomplishments you've achieved as a unit over the last couple of years. For Team Courchaine, those accomplishments were achieved under your leadership. And in addition to conducting the mission, you made a lot of friends, forged relationships, and really left your mark on the group. And we get to thank you for that service today. And then finally, for the Picklesimer family, Today marks the start of your command journey and is really a celebration of all the hard work that you've put in to be postured to be in this leadership position. So let's start today by bragging on the team that is the 67th COG, the Rough Riders. The 67th COG is the only group in the wing that is solely focused on offensive cyberspace operations. And over the course of the last 2 years, this group has truly revolutionized how we plan and execute offensive cyber missions. And they've set the standard for doing so across the Joint Force. Colonel Courchaine came into this command position 2 years ago with a vision for innovating and maturing offensive cyberspace operations. She articulated that vision up and down her chain of command and executed it relentlessly to get us to where we are today. She built partnerships across countless organizations and made sure her team was organized, trained, and equipped to be able to give national level decision makers options when they needed them most. In this era of strategic competition, the role of the 67th COG is crucial as we posture to support and defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic, with a distinct focus on our near-peer adversaries. The airmen of the 67th COG also execute their mission under an organizational construct that aligns them with 3 4-star combatant commanders, any one of which can pick up the phone at any time and have these airmen on mission within hours anywhere in the world. Let's not forget that this evolution of offensive cyberspace operations happened during a pandemic, which presented many challenges to operating in a team construct, all of which the airmen of the 67th COG overcame. I want to highlight just a few of the things this group has done over the last couple of years. They ensured that the 2020 national elections were the most secure elections ever and countered disinformation campaigns of those who wanted to influence the outcome. They revolutionized the use of publicly available information and its use in support of cyberspace operations, then built a training plan to grow that tradecraft. They expanded alternate access operations through partnerships, joint and international. They conducted operations in 3 different areas of responsibility simultaneously and executed over 3.7 million fires on 1.4 million targets. They formalized the building, maintenance, and scheduling of cyberspace operations infrastructure. They led operations and set standards for training in the Navy and Army Joint Force Headquarters. In fact, it was all airmen in the 67th COG that swept the annual cyber awards at Joint Force Headquarters Navy. And Brian, being a captain in the Navy, I'm sure Lauren never holds that over your head at home. But it's definitely indicative of the positive influence that the Rough Rider team has made across the globe. And then finally, the airmen of the 67th COG have been involved in every major military operation in the past 2 years, to include the evacuation of Afghan refugees and the ongoing conflict in Ukraine. The more than 700 airmen of the 67th Cyberspace Operations Group come to work every day committed to the mission that we have asked them to do. And they do it in a way that sets the standard for excellence. Lauren, I know that you will be the last one to seek out credit, but all this progress happened under your watch, under your leadership, guidance, and tutelage. You are leaving this organization better than you found it, and that should be the goal of every leader. We all know that command is a team sport. Service requires a commitment from our families, and Lauren could not be nearly as effective if it wasn't for her team in the front row over there, Brian, Cooper, Oliver, and Emma. The Team Courchaine, it has been great to get to know you a little bit better over the last 2 years, and Megan and I look forward to continuing to serve with you for many years to come. Cooper and Oliver, it's been great to watch you guys run the neighborhood over the last year, and I can say with confidence that I know how proud your mom and dad are of you guys. I don't think a week goes by that we don't talk about the things that are going on in your lives. Brian, thank you for your continued support to Lauren and the Rough Riders of the 67th Cyberspace Operations Group. Y'all might not be aware of this, but Brian and Lauren have a secret whiteboard at the house. I think it's hidden amongst all those squadron stickers that I keep hearing about. So a lot of those great ideas that she comes in to work with were probably dreamed up on the Team Courchaine whiteboard. Some people like to do things like that for fun. Team Courchaine, your nation owes you a debt of gratitude, and we thank you. As we say see you later to the Courchaines, we have the privilege of welcoming back the Picklesimers into the Gunslinger family. JP was previously the commander of the 91st Cyberspace Operations Squadron at the time we stood up the Cyber Mission Force and established our combat mission teams. JP, Michelle, and the kids are truly the perfect command team to come in and take the 67th COG to the next level of excellence, because they've had assignments throughout their careers that have made them the best qualified choice for the job. JP started his career, like many of us, as a communications officer with time spent in Combat Com, the 3rd Herd, followed by assignments at AFCA, our former cyber mecca, PACAF, and 13th Air Force. And then he was a plank holder in the 624th Operations Center, so hopefully he can rekindle some of the relationships and knowledge that he had from that experience. From there, he became the Director of Operations at the 92nd. At the time, the 92nd was in the 68th Wing, but since it's been realigned to the 67th, we can probably count that as JP's first assignment as a gunslinger. Then off to ID at National Intelligence University, and back to the 67th Wing for round 2, this time as the commander of the 91st, where he helped stand up 001 Combat Mission Team. After command, JP served his sentence in the Pentagon, the time in the A3, and then still influencing cyber operations, and then doing senior leader management, trying to manage all the 17 ex-colonels in the Air Force, which can be challenging. Then I was off to school again, this time at Idaho National Labs, followed by an assignment at U.S. Cyber Command, where he continued to become steeped in cyber operations before being selected for this command opportunity. JP, Michelle, Henry, Bridget, and Gavin, we welcome you back to the Gunslinger team. I look forward to hearing about all that you accomplished in support of the Rough Riders, and I'm confident you will continue the evolution of mission, leadership, and culture within the group. You have big shoes to fill, but we know you're up to the task. Take care of the airmen of the 67th and create an environment where they can succeed personally and professionally. I know that they will take care of the critical mission with which they are charged. With that, I believe it's time to recognize Colonel Courchaine for all the hard work she has accomplished during her command tour before we pass the flag on to the Picklesimers. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you.
Please rise for the presentation of the Legion of Merit to Colonel Courchaine. Colonel Phillips, sir, request permission to publish the orders. Attention to orders. Colonel Lauren A. Courchaine distinguished herself by exceptionally meritorious conduct in the performance of outstanding service to the United States as Commander, 67th Cyberspace Operations Group, 67th Cyberspace Wing, Joint Base San Antonio-Lackland, Texas, from 16 May 2020 to 24 May 2022. During this period, the exemplary ability, diligence, and inspiring leadership of Colonel Courchaine was crucial in guiding Air Combat Command's premier Cyberspace Operations Group, focused on the presentation of offensive cyberspace forces, infrastructure, intelligence, and capabilities. Colonel Courchaine led over 700 personnel in 6 selectively manned squadrons across 10 locations worldwide, operating with an annual budget of $25 million. Under her guidance, the 67th Cyberspace Operations Group converged combat power and optimized the force presentation of Air Force cyberspace teams to United States Cyber Command in support of the National Security Council's #1 priority, to defend the 2020 United States elections. Colonel Courchaine drove the execution of a $100 million capabilities portfolio, where she aligned and exercised information warfare mission packages that armed 3 combatant commanders for strategic competition. Colonel Courchaine ignited the 4-star tasked alternate access mission and leveraged a $1 billion research, development, test, and evaluation portfolio to bolster options for the United States European Command in support of the Ukraine crisis. Finally, Colonel Courchaine's commitment to the airmen and mission of the 67th Cyberspace Operations Group postured the Rough Rider team to achieve an overall effective rating and the identification of 17 strengths during the Air Combat Command's capstone unit effectiveness inspection, demonstrating the group's ability to balance Air Force program management with a high operational tempo supporting national-level priorities. The superior initiative, outstanding leadership, and personal endeavor displayed by Colonel Courchaine reflect great credit upon herself and the United States Air Force. Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, the Commander, 67th Cyberspace Operations Group, Colonel Lauren A. Courchaine.
Thank you. It is a great day to be an airman, and it is an even greater day to be a Rough Rider in the 67th Cyberspace Operations Group. Thank you to everybody that is here. I'd like to get another applause for that outstanding national anthem and the invocation. They were fantastic. Colonel Phillips, Megan, thank you for your kind words and your friendship. The last 2 years have been nothing short of fantastic, and I couldn't imagine a better wing commander and wing commander team to work with and for. It has been absolutely awesome. Thank you for the opportunity to proceed until apprehended and the ability to operate and to lead the team to the successes that we've had. Thank you. I'd also like to say thank you to General Skinner and General Kennedy, to everybody that is watching online. Thank you. Like Colonel Phillips said, sometimes people dial in, and I just wanted to say thank you for the ability to be here today. Brian, Cooper, Oliver, and Emma, thank you, and we'll talk a little bit more later. Michelle, Henry, Bridget, and Gavin, and JP's mom and dad, and Michelle's father, thank you for coming today. This is a fantastic opportunity, and I'm so excited for JP and Michelle to continue to lead. To my fellow commanders, to include the commanders from that other cyber wing, Jim and Linda, thank you for your friendship as well, and thank you for being here today. To Mick and Anjali, thank you for being colleagues in crime, and thank you for your friendship. It's been absolutely amazing to serve with you and to grow our friendship over the last year. I'm really looking forward to what the future holds. Omar, it's been awesome. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a sounding board. Thank you for listening, and thank you for everything that you've done and your continued bias for action and continuing to focus on what needs to get done to drive the mission. I know that General Hawk's not here today, but I would love to say thank you to him for allowing me to be a maverick, leading my merry band of misfits and driving national security change in the way that it needs to be, and removing roadblocks at every juncture whenever we needed that to happen. So thank you to him and for his support. Chief McKendry, thank you to you and Hope. Your friendship has also been amazing. And Chief, thank you for always being a staunch advocate and listening every time I came up and talked to you about something or tried to change something. You always provided that level of insight and advice that was absolutely necessary. Chief Von Holt, thank you for being my right-hand man. Thank you for being my wingman, and thank you for the creativity and excitement that you bring to this mission. You are absolutely the right chief at the right time to continue to lead this mission of cyber and intel airmen into the future. You have provided so much creativity, and I am so excited to see where you and JP take this team in the future. To the members of the Gunslinger family and the Rough Rider Nation, thank you for being here every single day. Thank you for showing up even when the times are hard and even when you didn't want to. Thank you for being creative and driving the mission each day. And then to all of the other commanders and supervisors and leaders that are here, thank you for being here today. So if you don't mind, I'd like to take a few minutes to tell you a story about the modern day Rough Riders. As I was thinking through and reading more about Teddy Roosevelt, every single quote that he has said and has been documented from him: do what you can with what you have where you are. Believe you can, and you are halfway there. The man and woman in the arena. Every single one of them applies to this Rough Rider team. You are a team that for the last 2 years has dreamed big, worked hard, and believed in yourselves even when nobody else did or thought we were crazy. You have continued to drive an innovative spirit, and I am so proud that I have been able to be a part of your team. This team that I'm talking about is made up of demon chasers, firebirds, coyotes, cyber wolves, ghost riders, and renegades. They are unified under a powerful Rough Rider doctrine, fueling a wing powered by people, and driving a command responsible for defending our national security and our democracy. And again, thank you for giving me the privilege to be a part of your team for the last 2 years. In this short period of time, you have proven that you are the experts. You've used new and innovative ways to ensure that the 2020 elections and soon the 2022 elections are going to be free and fair from any foreign interaction. You've ensured that our democracy will remain intact and that we will continue to be the best nation in the world. You've created new TTPs under the task force. You've created new doctrine. You've created new positions within Cyber Command before the command even knew they needed them. You've created capabilities and put together systems to make sure that our airmen's time is valued and that we didn't continue to do things that didn't make sense, and you were continued to be focused on the future. And you are experts at recognizing thought leaders. Just like Colonel Phillips said, not only did we sweep all of the Navy awards, but we also swept all of the Cyber Command awards. And at every opportunity, I am hearing about another Rough Rider that is getting distinction in some form or fashion for the amazing work that you've done. And that goes to the leadership at all levels and all echelons within the group. It's not just the commanders who have taken the opportunity to lead. It's every single airman in this group, because you know that your voice matters, and that every time I walk into a room, I know I'm not the smartest person. And you all have never been afraid to tell me what the right answer is and why we need to do it and what we need to do to get to drive innovation to make this domain better. And I am so proud of you for that. And most importantly, you have never been afraid to act. Just like Teddy Roosevelt said, it is hard to fail, but it is worse to have never tried to succeed. Even when we've failed, we have failed forward. We have learned quickly from our mistakes. We have shared widely, and we have kept moving on. Because you're not afraid to act, I have understood where those roadblocks are, where we need to influence others to see the world the way that the Rough Rider Nation sees it. You have allowed me the opportunity to open doors so that you can flourish, so that you can change the cyberspace domain and protect our national security in a meaningful way. And for that, I know you will be successful long after I am gone, because you have the framework and the mindset to be successful because you're not afraid to act. And again, for that, I am proud of you. Through the last couple of years, not only have we saved Americans during the Afghanistan withdrawal, we've saved American citizens across the world. We've created a comprehensive plan for the Pacific. We've focused on how to defeat our adversaries in CENTCOM. We've done some things in some places against some other people, and it has been nothing short of spectacular. And through it all, you have never stopped caring for each other like a family. We've mourned together, we've rejoiced together, we've laughed together, and we've sung together. We've sung the sweet melody of success in so many avenues and so many opportunities. It makes me just smile. I'm smiling because I know that we have a group of airmen that are focused on the future and will continue to change the world. And you know, it takes an extraordinary family to serve. It takes extraordinary people to be part of our Air Force. So let me tell you about another amazing team, my home team. Emma, just like the chaplain said, you are absolutely the glue that holds our family together. And I am so glad you stuck with us through the COVID times of no travel. And I am so glad that you are part of our family. You have left a mark that will stay with us for years to come, and thank you for all that you do. Oliver, your snuggles make any bad day amazing. And I love your stories and your excitement for life. Thank you for being you and don't ever change. Cooper, your curiosity and your desire to know about the world and how everything works, it's just like your dad, but I love it. It drives me to be better. It drives me to be better, and I've learned to never question you, because every time I do, I'm wrong and you're right. So keep being amazing. Brian, thank you for loving me unconditionally. You truly are my soulmate, and I thank God every day for the fact that our stars aligned, even if it was in Afghanistan and you tell a great story about it. You're amazing, and I love you. And quite frankly, there aren't enough words in the English language to be able to tell you how much I love you and how much I appreciate you. And all of the things that we do, I think, makes us a stronger family, it makes us a stronger Air Force, and it makes us a stronger nation. So thank you for being you, and thank you for being mine. JFK once said, "Change is the law of life, and those who look only to the past or present are certain to miss the future." Today, more so than ever, change is not an option, It is a national imperative. And I ask, if not this group, then who? You have proven over and over that you are extraordinary. If you have the answer, speak it. If you know how to do it, do it. If you have the opportunity to act, act. Change nothing as you move forward, and you will continue to change the world. Which leads me to the last team I want to talk about. Team Picklesimer. JP, Michelle, Henry, Bridget, Gavin, and the rest of your family, I am so glad that you are back in Rough Rider territory. You know this terrain very well. You know how important this group is to national security. And JP, I know that you've been watching from afar for the last couple of years. All I will say is be easy to follow. Always make it about this amazing team and have fun, because you truly have the greatest job in the United States Air Force. And remember, the Air Force in the nation is better because of every single person sitting in this room, because you choose to serve this nation. You choose to serve our flag, and that is noteworthy. And for that, I appreciate every single one of you. And in the words of the great Dr. Seuss, don't cry because it's over, smile because it happened. God bless the United States Air Force, and God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
Thank you, Colonel Courchaine. At this time, the members of the 67th Cyberspace Operations Group will prepare to render their final salute to their outgoing commander. Squadron commanders, will you please take charge of your airmen? Please take your seats. Thank you, Colonel Courchaine. The Rough Riders of the 67th Cyberspace Operations Group would like to take this opportunity to thank Brian, Cooper, Oliver, and Emma for their love and support. Thank you for all you've done. We truly appreciate your dedication and commitment to our worldwide military community and wish you the very best. The ceremony you are about to witness is one of the briefest yet most significant of our military customs. All authority and responsibility are vested in the hands of the commander in an unbroken chain to the Commander-in-Chief, President Biden. No unit may ever, even for a brief moment, be without a commander. So today, when Colonel Courchaine relinquishes command and Colonel Picklesimer assumes command, all authority and responsibility for the 67th Cyberspace Operations Group transfers to him immediately. The passing of the group's guidon culminates a series of significant achievements under Colonel Courchaine's leadership, vision, and guidance, and reflects great confidence in the continuance of those achievements under the command of Colonel Picklesimer. Please stand for the change of command of the 67th Cyberspace Operations Group. Colonel Phillips, sir, request permission to publish the change of command orders. Attention to orders. Special order number G TAC 24 TAC 0031, dated 24th of May, 2022. Colonel Lauren A. Courchaine is relieved of command of the 67th Cyberspace Operations Group, and Colonel John W. Picklesimer assumes command effective the 24th of May, 2022, by order of Colonel Jeffrey A. Phillips, Commander, 67th Cyberspace Wing. It is my privilege to introduce to you for the first time the Commander, 67th Cyberspace Operations Group, Colonel John W. Picklesimer. Please take your seats.
So good morning. It's great to see you all here. Some of you may have thought you were going to the early access premiere of Top Gun. So I appreciate you staying for the ceremony anyway. It's great to be back on Lackland. Michelle and the kids and I, it was such a warm welcome, and it means a lot to us, just the love and warmth we felt as we came in here. So Michelle and I have been doing this for over 20 years now, and that means that she sacrificed a lot of personal comfort and stability, and I'm forever grateful for that sacrifice and choosing every day to continue with me in this journey of service, and I wouldn't want to do this anybody else but you. So same for the kids. Actually, 2 of them were born here on Lackland, one in Hawaii as well. They move with a little bit of protest, but always with joy in their heart, and they make it fun every single day, and it's great to watch them grow, and I appreciate them so much. They are all the reason I need to continue doing my part to defend our way of life. So my mom and dad and my father-in-law John were able to make it down from Ohio. Thanks for making that long trip. They provided growing up that strong foundation and support, and they continue to support us over the last 20 years. So John was at my commissioning ceremony as well, and has been a part of all the major milestones throughout this career. And thank you for welcoming into your family, and appreciate everything you've done for us. So those are some of my sources of resilience, and I learn a few more every day. I appreciate the invocation from Sergeant Bush from our True North team. That's a fantastic program, and I'm so grateful that we have that. And of course, the wonderful rendition of the national anthem from Airman Art Promoter Zug Elder. Thank you so much. Thank you to Chewy and Mr. Hoskins and the team for putting this together. Again, that's no small feat to do this, and thanks for a great execution on doing that. General Skinner, General Kennedy, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for everyone else who's tuned in. I appreciate you making time to do that. Lots of folks in the crowd. Colonel Hewitt, Miss Hewitt, thanks so much. Chief Hope, Mrs. Phillips, Colonel Phillips, of course. Mr. Snoddy, Mr. White, thank you. And everyone else, I thank you for attending. Mr. Cook, appreciate your continued support of the Wing, AFA, and Cyber Patriot. Good to see you, sir. Thank you. Sir, thanks for those kind words. Appreciate your longtime friendship, mentorship, and leadership, definitely of the Wing, and working with you over time. And good luck at Langley. Enjoy. So I've been following Colonel Courchaine around for the last 3 days or so, and most of the time I find myself asking her, "You did what, where, to who?" And then I asked, "Does Cyber Command know about this?" And so, General Kennedy, if you're listening, just scratch I said that. Don't worry about that. But what I did observe, and she, so eloquently said, highly motivated and empowered group doing great things for America, and so proud to be following and continuing command from that. So I did receive a congrats note, of course, and hey JP, congratulations, you're gonna do great, etc. And then it literally said, take note. It's not the same group you left or that you came from in 2016. And he's right. It's bigger, it's stronger, it's more capable. It's a higher ops tempo, and generating more effects. I think one of those major changes that causes that is the integration of the intelligence professionals and the cyber warfare professionals through the NAF, the Wing, the group, the squadron, and in the teams. And I think that combination, that integration, is so powerful, and that's what allows us to generate those options and outcomes for combatant commanders and the president. What hasn't changed is the high level of dedication and motivation in the men and women of the 67th COG. It is my honor to lead and serve with you, and I will work to earn that privilege every day. Thank you.
At this time, the Rough Riders of the 67th Cyberspace Operations Group will prepare to render their first salute to their new commander, Colonel John W. Picklesimer. Squadron commanders, will you please take charge of your airmen? Please take your seats. The members of the 67th Cyberspace Operations Group would like to present a gift to Mrs. Picklesimer. This gift represents the friendships she will make as she becomes an integral part of our community. This concludes today's ceremony. On behalf of Colonel Phillips, Colonel Courchaine, and Colonel Picklesimer, thank you for attending. Refreshments will be served immediately following the ceremony in the lobby. In keeping with the Air Force tradition, please stand as we conclude today's ceremony, as Colonel Picklesimer leads us in the singing of the Air Force song, and remain standing for the departure of the official party. Thank you again for coming, and have a wonderful day.